Shalom uvracha, welcome. This week is Parshat Vietze, which introduces us to Yaakov Avinu leaving his home, never to see his mother again, and going back to his ancestral home, ultimately to meet his wife and to begin a family that will become Bnei Yisrael. As Yaakov Avinu leaves his home, there is a lingering question that hovers over the story, and that is, as much as Yaakov was predestined to be the forerunner of our nation, even though HaKadosh Baruch Hu revealed to Rivka that indeed Yaakov would be the one chosen to be the progenitor, to continue the Brit, the covenant, the question that still is hanging with a heaviness over the story is, did it have to happen this way? Did the old father, the old blind father, have to be deceived without being told directly what was going on? Did the brother have to be deceived? And he cries out. This is a question of how one evaluates the actions of Yaakov and Rivka, even though they had, on some level, a sense that this is where destiny led them to. This is a question in general when we evaluate biblical stories. Some stories, it's clear. The Bible itself tells us its evaluation. In David and Bathsheba story, the Tanakh says, Vayera hadavar b'nei Hashem ma'od, and it was very evil in the eyes of God. But here the text does not explicitly tell us. And so we have to look between the lines for clues. When Yaakov reaches the house of Lavan and falls in love with Rachel and is ready to marry Rachel, he in effect receives a kind of poetic justice that he himself is deceived. And the morning when he arises and he sees that it's not Leah, but it's Rachel, he turns and he says, Mazot asita li halo berachel avarticha imach, velama rimitani, and why have you deceived me? The Midrash Tanchuma, in a daring statement, says that Leah turned to him and said, Lama rimitani? Va'ata lama rimita avicha, why did you deceive your father? Kshamar lecha ata zeh b'ni Esav. When he asked you, are you my son Esav, you said yes. You were willing to deceive your father. And now you ask, why am I being deceived? It's measure for measure, poetic justice. And a number of commentaries suggest that when Lavan said to Yaakov, Lo yasechen bimkomenu latetat tzira lifnei habechira, it is not our custom to give the elder before the younger, changing the language from ktanan gdola. He was trying to once again hint to him, maybe where you come from, the older is usurped by the younger. But here we have a hierarchy. Here we have appropriate behavior. And so, between the lines, a number of midrashim and a number of commentaries suggest that Yaakov received poetic justice. Yaakov received a midah keneged midah, punishment of sorts. And so, even when there may be something that is the right end, the question is always the means. And we constantly have to ask ourselves the question, and even biblical figures are confronted with the challenge. Do the ends justify the means? And are we doing in our pursuit of the proper goal? Are we also engaging in proper means? Shabbat Shalom, and have a wonderful Parshat Vietze.